Live, where news comes first. This is ABC7 with breaking news.
A somber Monday morning here in the borderland. I'm Mauricio Casillas. Thank you for joining us.
And I'm Shelby Montgomery. Good morning, everyone.
And it's been 2 days since a shooter entered the Walmart near Cielo Vista and shot and killed 20 people, making it the 8th deadliest shooting in U.S. history. Another 26 people injured.
Thousands have gathered for visuals. Some families are still anxiously waiting to find out the whereabouts of their loved one. Del Sol Medical Center says all of its patients have been reunited with their families, but police are still working to get in contact with family members of the victims who were killed.
ABC7, though, has been able to identify some of them after speaking with their families. Most recently, we spoke with the family of 63-year-old David Johnson. They tell us he died a hero, protecting his wife, also pictured here, Kathy, and their granddaughter from gunfire. The three of them were back to school shopping.
The Far San Juan Alamo Independent School District says their alumni, Leonardo Campos Jr., is among the victims. He was part of their PSJ high school class of 1996. School board president Jesse Zambrano said, quote, Leo Campos was a great athlete and friend to many during his time at PSJA High. Leo was well liked and a role model to many athletes that looked up to him, including me, end quote.
And our newsroom confirmed last night that Javier Amir Rodriguez of Horizon City was killed in the shooting. He would have been a 10th grader at Horizon High School. That information is according to a district official. This photo was posted by his soccer team, Express Football Club.
We also confirmed 24-year-old Jordan Anchondo and her 23-year-old husband Andre were killed. They were from El Paso. Her family says Jordan Anchondo was likely trying to shield their 2-month-old son and fell on him as she was shot. The baby suffered broken bones. The family got confirmation yesterday afternoon of Andre's death. The couple left behind 3 small children. ABC7 also confirmed 60-year-old Arturo Benavides was among the victims. He was also from El Paso. He was an Army veteran and a bus driver for Sun Metro.
Mexican officials say 7 of the victims who were killed were Mexican nationals, identified as Adolfo Hernandez of Aguascalientes, Elsa Mendoza de la Mora of Yepomera, Chihuahua, Gloria Marquez of Juárez, Ivan Manzano of Juárez, Jorge Calvillo of Torreón, Coahuila, María Eugenia Legarreta of Chihuahua, and Sara Esther Regaldo, also of Juárez.
ABC7 has also spoken to several victims injured by gunfire. You can find a full list of those identified and their stories at our website, kvia.com.
Now, Shelby, the president is addressing the shooting on Twitter this morning, including a second mass shooting that happened on Saturday night in Dayton, Ohio. A gunman killed 9 people and injured several others near a bar just hours after the shooting here in El Paso.
He said, quote, we cannot let those killed in El Paso, Texas and Dayton, Ohio die in vain. Likewise, for those so seriously wounded, we can never forget them and those many who came before them. Republicans and Democrats must come together and get strong background checks, perhaps marrying this legislation with desperately needed immigration reform. We must have something good, if not great, come out of these 2 tragic events. The district attorney says he will seek the death penalty against the alleged shooter, 21-year-old Patrick Crucius. A U.S. attorney says the Justice Department is treating the incident as a domestic terrorism case. The Los Angeles Times reports that a Twitter account that appeared to belong to Crucius was shut down Saturday evening. Video shows the moments after Crucius was taken into custody without incident and without firing any weapons. Authorities are trying to determine if a hate-filled anti-immigrant manifesto that was posted online minutes before the mass shooting was written by Crucius.
And El Paso police say all of the 20 bodies of the victims from Walmart have been removed. Police are now speaking to the next of kin of those victims in order to identify them. The area, though, still a crime scene as investigators continue to collect evidence. Police sending out this tweet last night saying, quote, the vehicles in the Walmart parking lot will remain there for several days, and residents are being asked to leave the vehicles there and to not go to the scene. Police will send out a notification when those vehicles will be available to be picked up. And El Paso Mayor DeMargo also issued a disaster declaration saying in part, quote, this declaration of a local disaster activates the appropriate recovery efforts from the state necessary for the city to address the needs associated with this tragedy.
El Paso area schools are upping security in light of this weekend's mass shooting. Good morning, El Paso's Madeline Audley is live from the scene of where this tragedy occurred and where a makeshift memorial vigil is now in place. She has details on how the school district is preparing for classes today.
It's an incredibly emotional morning here at Cielo Vista Mall as a very dark tragedy occurred here just days ago. And what you can now see behind me is the light of just dozens of candles lining the road here near that Walmart, as well as flowers, balloons, American flags, and even signs. We walked by some of those earlier. They read things like El Paso Strong and Forever 915. They seek to honor those who lost their lives in this deadly, horrible event. And all across the county, many students have just gone back to school or are getting ready to do so, and the schools are taking action to make sure that these kids are safe. At Clint ISD, all schools now have armed sheriff deputies on duty. Schools will also have more security at entrances and upgraded security cameras. Clint is the school district home to 15-year-old victim Javier Amir Gonzalez. He attended Horizon High School, and he's the youngest victim identified at this point. At Socorro ISD, SISD Police Department is on duty 24/7 with police and security officers assigned to every school in that district. Each school has a minimum of 15 security cameras and has campus staff members stationed at the main entrance. The district is installing panic buttons to instantly alert police during an emergency and is ramping up drills to practice emergency situations. Now, counselors will be available to support and comfort students and staff at these districts as well. We spoke with a psychotherapist on last night's ABC7 Extra about why seeking emotional support is so important.
The only way to get back to a sense of stabilization and normalcy is to get the help needed with a therapist that's trained in trauma to get them to process what just happened so that their body can go back to a normal state.
Now, Gadsden Independent School District in New Mexico does return to the classroom today. ABC7 has reached out to them to see what they're doing to ensure student safety. We've yet to hear back, but we continue to monitor all the districts in the area about what they're doing for your kids. Reporting live at Cielo Vista Mall, Madeline Ottilie. Good morning, El Paso.
Madeline, thank you. A prayer vigil at Ponder Park last night drew thousands of people finding strength through all of this sadness. El Pasoans heartbroken over the loss of 20 lives. A community of thousands is now united in prayer and hope. Hundreds of El Paso residents marching to honor those killed and wounded, among them former El Paso Congressman Beto O'Rourke. El Paso es familia, one sign read. When one hurts, we all hurt. Congresswoman Veronica Escobar calling this out as white nationalism.
The shooter came into our community because we are an Hispanic community and because we have immigrants here. He came here to harm us.
ABC7's Estela Casas also spoke at the vigil, calling El Paso broken and fragmented, but resilient, and saying that our community will come back stronger than ever, and I agree.
Thank you, Mauricio. 6:07 is the time now. We're in the 80s at the El Paso airport. Relative humidity is at 39%. So a little dry to start out this morning. Las Cruces also in the low 70s. Winds are out of the north at 3 miles an hour. Humidity is up at 67%. So back to school. Here's your forecast. 7 o'clock lunchtime. We're at 95 degrees. By the end of the school day, around 3 o'clock, 97 with a 20% chance for showers. As you can see, the next 7 days, each afternoon, we'll have that chance for showers and thunderstorms. So coming up, we'll take a look at the latest Future Track computer model, give you an idea of which locations will likely see most of the heaviest rain this afternoon. JC?
Thank you, Nicole. It is 6:08 right now. We're giving you a look at your traffic track, and I-10 here at Lee Trevino is off to a good start, in part because our overnight road closures have now cleared. So if you're making your way out there, you'll see that I-10 West is flowing fine. I-10 East is also looking perfect this hour. We're not seeing any major delays out there, and we're happy to say no crashes to report. So no overnight road closures either. Traffic's looking good. Coming up next, we'll give you a look at those daytime road closures.
All right, thank you, JC. ABC7 has been monitoring the victims that are recovering at the hospitals here in El Paso.
We will be updating you on the victims at Del Sol Medical Center as well as their conditions.
And we'll also be telling you about how the recovering victims are doing at University Medical Center. It's 6:09 and this is ABC7 where news comes first.
6:11, welcome back. University Medical Center gave an update on the victims in its care. The hospital says it's received 15 patients. 5 of those patients have been discharged. The remaining 10 vary from stable to critical condition. The chief of surgery and trauma medical director says he thinks after time, the patients will be able to make a full recovery with no major physical disabilities.
Injuries will be They're still obviously life-threatening. We're still in the critical phase. Most of these patients have received multiple blood transfusions already and will be over the next day or so, if not longer, but they're not massively hemorrhaging at this time. With respect to lifelong injuries, it does not look as if they're going to be disabled. Nobody has a spinal cord injury. Nobody has the head injury, the brain injury. Most of these people will require extensive rehabilitation once they leave the hospital, but they should all be back and functional at some point.
Some good news there. 11 victims were also taken to Del Sol Medical Center following the shooting. Officials from the hospital say of those victims, 8 are in stable condition, while 3 others remain in critical condition with a long road of healing ahead. The medical team remains on constant 12-hour rotations with little sleep as they were busy making use of blood donations that had been sent in from across the community. It took some time, but hospital staff tells us that each victim that was injured has since been reunited with their worried family members.
With no identification, obviously completely unconscious, and our ability to be able to identify them was not an easy thing.
I believe we took 7 patients to the OR yesterday. We anticipate that a number of the patients will need to return to the operating room over the course of today and the next week.
And the hospital also noted that staff had actually done a mock active shooter drill recently, which they say helped with their response. Saturday was a tragic day for the people here in El Paso.
While the dust was settling here, another U.S. city was dealing with another mass shooting. Coming up, we will give you the latest details from the Dayton, Ohio incident.
And President Trump set to speak on the deadly shootings. We'll tell you when he's expected to talk. Coming up after the break, 6:13.
We are coming up on 6:17. Weather and traffic on the 7s, getting you up to speed on our forecast. If you are headed out right now, satellite radar picture does show we are under partly cloudy skies. And really for the next few days, I think we will be under partly to mostly cloudy skies. All thanks to unstable air moving into the region. That's going to help fuel thunderstorms later this afternoon. And you can see this ridge of high pressure. That's going to keep dry air across Southern California, parts of Arizona. We're going to have a chance for showers later this afternoon. But if you're traveling maybe to Florida, and of course the East Coast, you'll likely see some showers there. Remember, if you head to kvia.com and you click on the traffic tab, scroll down, you can get your flight information there just in case you are traveling. Future track model stopping the clock at 8 o'clock. There we are, partly cloudy skies, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock hour. We're not seeing any rain, but really for the next few days, the chance will be there. By Wednesday, we'll have a 30% chance for isolated showers and thunderstorms. So here's our storm outlook. It does keep most of the heaviest rain around the area mountains and areas west, Tiercy, Silver City, Deming, and Las Cruces. You also have a chance for showers for the rest of the day today. 98, that's our high for Socorro, Clint, Fabens. We're at 97 for Fort Bliss. So really, our forecast looks very similar to yesterday. 96 Vado, 97 La Union, and we're also in the upper 90s for Santa Teresa. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Slight chance for showers today. Partly cloudy skies, 97. That's our forecast high. By Tuesday, 99. So we'll run above average really for the next few days with a 30% chance for rain on Wednesday. Thursday, we're at 99 degrees, also in the 90s for Friday. Looking ahead to the weekend, we're in the mid-90s with overnight lows in the 70s. JC?
Well, and we do have a brand new traffic alert to get to. Right now, we want to give you a look here at I-10. You can see airway, it's flowing just fine, not seeing any delays here at 6:18. Now, the good news is there's no major crash here within the city of El Paso. Traffic's looking good so far if you're making your way out there this morning. However, far east El Paso County is where we're seeing a traffic alert. It's a 3-vehicle crash here on Montana and Cragg. This is, again, very, very far east. We're getting the Montana Vista Fire Department telling us that all lanes heading west are closed at this time. This happening no more than 5 minutes ago. So you're going to want to take Buntland towards Marvin, towards Las Casitas. That's going to be the detour in place to avoid this area. No word on any major injuries just yet. We're still working to gather that information. As soon as I do get an update, I will be letting you know. Back here in El Paso for today, we do have some road closures. I-10 east and west of the Texas state line. We'll have alternating lane closures from 9 until 4 this afternoon. Also, Loop 375 at Yarborough will have a lane closure there from 9 until 4 p.m. Keep that in mind. And Gateway West at Paisano will have another lane closure as you're heading west again from 9 until 4 this afternoon. Shelby?
JC, President Donald Trump offered his condolences to both El Paso as well as the Dayton, Ohio community, where another gunman opened fire just hours after the shooting here. 9 people were killed and 26 others were injured.
I want to extend our condolences to the people of El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. They're incredible people, and they've been through a lot. I just want to also thank the law enforcement in both places. The job they've done is incredible.
The president is expected to speak again today regarding both shootings. It's set to begin at 8 a.m. El Paso time. We will carry it live and alert you through the KVIA News app before Trump begins to speak.
Well, of course, El Paso is not alone in our mourning. A second community suffered a mass shooting just hours after our community did. New details are emerging out of Dayton, Ohio about the victims and the shooter. ABC News reporter Jesse Kirsch has more.
Hundreds filling downtown Dayton, lighting candles to honor lives extinguished, praying for this community and our nation.
We're believing that things will be better.
Earlier, when police reopened this popular nightlife area, crowds trickled in, horrified and heartbroken by what they saw.
I was walking over this way and I felt like I was about to throw up.
How was she not here last night? She was supposed to come, and I really truly believe, I found 3 dimes this morning, and I feel like they were watching over her.
Her daughter nearly in the killing field when 911 calls started coming in just after 1 this morning.
We need first medic and net peppers right now. We got several down.
Suspect was wearing body armor and used an AK-like gun, assault rifle, .223 caliber with high-capacity magazines, and he had additional magazines with him as well.
Officers already in the Oregon district for a busy Saturday night, able to take out the shooter in front of Ned Peppers. Police engaging and killing the suspect in under a minute.
Their amazing courage and their response undoubtedly saved many, many, many lives. We will never know how many lives were saved.
But in that short span, 9 innocent people killed, including the alleged gunman's younger sister. Each victim memorialized time and again down this cobblestone path tonight as the 27 injured recover.
Injuries ranged from gunshot wounds to the lower extremities to abdominal wounds.
Authorities identified the shooter as 24-year-old Connor Betts of Bellbrook, Ohio. According to police, nothing in the shooter's background would have stopped him from legally buying the AK-47 style assault rifle used in this horrific attack. Now, chants of do something echoing through Dayton.
Hoping that young people say, you know, we're tired of this.
One family is mourning the loss of 2 family members after the shooting at Walmart.
We'll tell you who the victims and the heroic act that saved the life of a 2-month-old baby.
Plus, an emotional interview with one of the first people to see the gunman that entered the Walmart. What she had to say about her experience coming up next. It's 6:23. Welcome back. It's 6:26. Flags are set to fly at half-staff until Thursday. Del Sol Medical Center showing its solidarity after Governor Greg Abbott announced the flags across the state will fly at half-mast. Federal buildings in downtown El Paso followed suit, and so did President Donald Trump, announcing flags will be at half-staff nationwide to honor not only the lives lost here in El Paso, but the victims from Dayton, Ohio's mass shooting on Saturday night.
Coming up on 6:27, weather and traffic on the 7s. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We start out in the 80s, partly cloudy skies with a slight chance for showers later this afternoon. Afternoon high climbing to 97 degrees, so running above average. Forecast looks just like yesterday where the clouds started to roll in, and then we did have some showers move in overnight. Tuesday, 99 degrees, 20% chance for showers. We're still in the 90s by Wednesday. I think Wednesday will be our best shot at seeing more rain throughout the region. We'll also have a 20% chance for rain on Thursday. Friday will remain in the 90s through the weekend. JC?
Thank you, Nicole. Let's also give you a look at your commute. We remind you we are still dealing with that traffic alert there in Montana Vista. Again, at this point, we do not know the extent of any injuries. Just keep that in mind. Again, that is Montana westbound at Cragg. As you're making your way out there, we will, of course, give you a look at that spot where their traffic flows coming up next in a few minutes. But for now, let's also give you a look at those airport drive times if you are making your way out there. If you have a flight to catch, things are still in the green within the city of El Paso. Zaragoza to Airway, 10 minutes, 23-minute drive from Aircraft towards the airport, and a 13-minute drive from Trans Mountain towards Airway as well. If you're heading out, we wish you a safe flight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Live, where news comes first. This is ABC 7 with breaking news.
It's a somber Monday here in the borderland. We thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Mauricio Casillas.
And I'm Shelby Montgomery in for Hillary Florin. A mass shooter is accused of killing 20 people this weekend at a borderland Walmart. The El Paso community is in mourning. The borderland coming together all weekend to remember the lives of 20 people killed in a mass shooting near the Cielo Vista Mall on Saturday. 21-year-old Patrick Crucius opened fire in the parking lot before walking into the Walmart with a high-powered assault rifle. Fear and chaos ensued. Police confirmed that 26 other people were taken to the hospital with gunshot wounds. Some of them are still in critical condition this morning, and law enforcement agencies are pursuing the death penalty and considering federal hate crime and firearm charges.
El Paso area schools are upping security in light of this weekend's mass shooting. Good morning, El Paso's Madeline Ottley is live from the scene of where this tragedy occurred and where a makeshift memorial is now in place.
She has details on how school districts are preparing classes today.
It's an incredibly emotional morning here at Cielo Vista Mall. Several already coming out to grieve as the sun starts to rise. You can just see the dozens of candles lining the ground here, honoring those who lost their lives, as well as flowers, balloons, American flags. Now, some of those signs on the ground read things like El Paso Strong and Forever 915. And of course, it is Monday, and all across the county, many students have just gone back to school or are getting ready to do so. And the schools are taking action to make sure that kids are safe. At Socorro ISD, SISD Police Department is on duty 24/7 with police and security officers assigned to every school in the district. Each school has a minimum of 15 security cameras and has a campus staff member stationed at the main entrance. The district is installing panic buttons to instantly alert police during an emergency and is ramping up drills to practice emergency situations. Now at Clint ISD, all schools now have armed sheriff's deputies on duty. Schools will also have more security at entrances and upgraded security cameras. Clint is the school district home to 15-year-old victim Javier Amir Gonzalez. He attended Horizon High School, and he's the youngest victim identified at this point. Counselors will be available to support and comfort students and staff at these districts. We spoke with a psychotherapist on last night's ABC 7 Extra about why seeking emotional support is so important and how people can help.
I think what we can do is help them by listening to the people that have experienced these traumatic incidents. Just listen to them, validate what they're feeling, because every feeling that they're feeling right now is totally valid.
Gadsden Independent School District in New Mexico is back in the classroom today. ABC 7 has reached out to see what they're doing to ensure student safety. We've yet to hear back, but of course we monitor all the districts in the area and we'll bring you new information about how your kids will stay safe at school as it comes in. Reporting live at Cielo Vista Mall, Madeline Ottley, Good Morning El Paso.
He shot 8 more rounds, and all I could say is, God, please take care of my children, and please don't let him do anything to my daughter or any of the girls in our team.
Maribel was one of the first people to witness the gunman open fire. She was taking part in a fundraiser for a local soccer team outside the Walmart. Maribel was shot along with the coach of the team, Guillermo Garcia, and his wife, Jessica. They were some of the lucky ones as they were able to escape the scene with their lives.
This guy was on a mission to just shoot and kill. And that's what he did.
Maribel is still recovering at University Medical Center, while Coach Garcia and his wife are recovering at Del Sol.
And while Maribel, of course, is still recovering at UMC, the heroic coach Memo Garcia recovering at Del Sol. And take a look at the vigil that was held at the El Paso Sports Park in the name of Coach Memo, his wife Jessica, and of course Maribel Latin and other victims of Saturday's shooting. Maribel's husband Daniel and daughter Maylene were present and emotional in addressing the crowd. 10-year-old Maylene, who was in the parking lot when this shooting happened.
The respect that we show our own, and this is what you're seeing right now. You know, we don't know the people affected in this particular team, but we're here with them every weekend. We pass them by. I'm sure we've crossed paths many a times, and we're here to support them at their time of need.
The El Paso Sports Park is where parents and kids usually gather on weekends for games.
A family is grieving the loss of 2 loved ones killed in the shooting. 24-year-old Jordan Anchondo died after shielding her 2-month-old baby from the shooter. The family confirmed with ABC7 that Andre, her husband, was also killed in the shooting. That couple had just celebrated their 1-year anniversary, and they had just bought a new home. The couple has 3 children, one of them a daughter who was starting school this year. Jordan, Andre, and 2-month-old Paul Gilbert were in Walmart shopping for back-to-school supplies when the unthinkable happened.
There's so much. And I'd give my life and trade for hers, because she had 3 babies she needed to raise. Any day I'd give my life just to have her back.
We deal with it by
praying, and we keep on going. You pray and you keep on going, and you have a good support system, and you're grateful that they have 3 kids. All 3 of the kids are alive.
Two losses is detrimental to any family. Now they have 3 kids with no parents.
The couple's baby, Paul Gilbert, is recovering. The family tells us they are devout Jehovah's Witnesses and are praying for the shooter as well as the shooter's family because they feel the shooter's parents have also lost a child.
An off-duty Army serviceman is being celebrated as a hero after he saved the lives of multiple children from the Walmart mass shooting. In an emotional interview, he wants people to not focus on him, but rather the victims of this tragic scene.
I'm more focused on the families that were lost. I want to reach out to the families that were lost and the families that lost their children, because the focus should not be on me. It should be on the world and what happened in Ohio and the people that what happened in Chicago and what happened yesterday. It should not be on me. I know what I did was heroic, but I'm more focused on the families that were lost and the kids that died and the people that died.
The Paso del Norte Community Foundation is raising money for a victims relief fund for those affected by this tragedy. Donations can be made to pdnfoundation.org. There is no fee to donate. Donations are being collected locally and nationally, but all funds will stay with those affected here in El Paso. Those who were affected and could use this money should contact emergency personnel offices. Tracy Yellen, the CEO of Paso del Norte Community Foundation, says the money will assist with medical bills, counseling support, and other areas of need.
And really, we never want this to happen again. And so if we can be a small part at supporting families and looking at future solutions to make sure this never happens again.
Is the time now. Weather and traffic on the 7s. Planning out your morning today. I know it's the first day of school for Gadsden. 7 o'clock, we're at 82 degrees. We'll have a slight chance for showers. By lunchtime, we're in the mid-90s. And then by the end of the school day, we're at 97 degrees. Now, looking ahead to the next few days, notice the best chance for showers will be on Wednesday. But we do have moist air that will move into the region, and that's going to help fuel showers and thunderstorms later this afternoon. And, of course, in your extended forecast, I'll give you an idea of which locations will likely see most of the rain this afternoon. If you are headed out right now, El Paso, we are in the 80s. And in Las Cruces, we're in the 70s. JC?
Thank you, Nicole. We do remind you once again, we are still tracking a traffic alert here. No word yet still on any injuries. We are working to contact the Montana Vista Fire Department. However, they did tell us the alternate route here. So what's happening is there's a 3-vehicle crash that is blocking the westbound lanes on Montana and Crag. This is, again, very, very far east El Paso County near Waco Tanks. If you're heading west, keep in mind that you're going to have to get off there and take Buntline towards Marvin, towards Las Casitas to avoid any potential delays. El Paso, the city of El Paso is looking fine. No crashes here, no overnight road closures either. Look at those daytime closures coming up next. Mauricio?
Thank you, JC. Local funeral homes are offering free services for victims of the shooting. There will be no charge for services at Perches Funeral Home. San Jose Funeral Home is offering free services and guidance for families. Memorial Pine Cemetery is their affiliate and says they will be offering free burial services as well. And Angel Gomez from Operation Hope was in the ABC7 studios the day the shooting happened, and he said that his group will help pay for funeral services as well.
We also want to remind you to visit our website, kva.com, for a list of ways that you can help. All of the El Paso Community Foundation and the Paso del Norte Foundation, they have both set up funds to help the victims. You can also call this number to speak to a counselor. The number is there on your screen for the Emergence Health Network Crisis Hotline.
Many vigils were held after the deadly shooting that happened at the Walmart near Cielo Vista Mall.
Next, we'll tell you about the vigil that took place in Juarez and what residents there are saying.
And many politicians taking the time to speak on the tragic events that occurred. We show you what they had to say, including former El Paso Representative Beto O'Rourke at 6:39. Welcome back. It's 6:42. Former Congressman Beto O'Rourke has spent time with victims at both hospitals. O'Rourke tweeted this photo after he visited with some of the families seriously injured in the shooting. He also met with the staff who were in the hospital during the chaotic moments.
It is nothing short of a miracle what we're seeing in there. The injuries that these patients have survived, the level of care that they are receiving. Doctors who, when they found out about it, dropped everything that they were doing. They were on their way to a wedding, they were at the gym, they were asleep, immediately came in. Everybody working together. They talked about the custodial staff in these trauma bays that we just visited. They'd bring a patient in, a lot of blood, a lot of mess, and then as soon as that patient's out, they're in within a minute, cleaning that place up, getting it ready for the next patient who came in.
And U.S. Senator John Cornyn also came to El Paso. He walked down the street to Walmart and laid a flag at that makeshift memorial. He later visited the hospital with Mayor DeMargo and County Judge Ricardo Samaniego.
We can't let somebody from somewhere else come here and try to define this region, which is a unique part of our state and our country, and we can't let them divide us. And that's, to me, one of the most important things to come out of this. And the resilience of this community and how well everybody's pulled together as a result of great leaders and great people has really been inspiring to me.
On Saturday night, our sister city, Juarez, held a candlelight vigil for the victims. Residents told the Associated Press it was difficult to ignore what had happened so close to home. Dozens attended the vigils wearing white and sharing prayers for the victims. Mexican's foreign secretary says they will pursue legal action to protect their citizens who were injured in yesterday's shooting. The Mexican president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, now says 7 of the people killed were Mexican nationals.
I would like to express my condolences because yesterday Americans and Mexicans lost their lives in El Paso, Texas because of a shooting conducted, according by the information I have, by a youth with an extremely powerful weapon, and 20 human beings lost their lives as a result.
As our community tries to recover, families are sending their children back to class.
The changes school districts are making as they prepare for the morning communities. Coming up in your morning rush.
Good morning. The time now is 6:47. Weather and traffic on the 7. Starting out with our live satellite radar picture does show that we are tracking partly cloudy skies, and we will be under partly cloudy skies for much of the day today. We'll also have a chance for showers. You can see where that ridge of high pressure is just west of us. That's going to bring dry conditions to parts of Arizona, Southern California, but we're not in the clear. Temperatures will run above average, and at 8 o'clock, not seeing any rain as you hit the roads, dropping the kids off at school, but by 2 o'clock, getting a little closer to the end of the school day. Looks like we'll have a little small cell pop up around Las Cruces, light showers around the Las Cruces area, El Paso, but I do think most of these showers and thunderstorms will impact the northwestern half of our viewing zone and, of course, the Sacramento Mountains as well. So for today, we'll have a slight chance for showers. That chance will go up tonight into Tuesday. Best chance of us seeing more rain will be on Wednesday. Now, so far, we have picked up about 1/4 of an inch at the El Paso International Airport, but we're still running well below normal. Here's our storm outlook. Shows drier air for southeastern portions of our area. And then El Paso, I'm still going to keep a slight chance for rain for us as well. 97, that's going to be the high today for Fort Bliss. 98, Coral. We're also in the 90s for Clint. 97 will be the afternoon high for La Union, Santa Teresa. Chaparral, again, under partly cloudy skies. So we'll see seasonal normals closer to where we should be sitting around this time of year, but still warm for the next 7 days. Again, slight chance for showers, partly cloudy skies, but that chance for rain goes up to 20% tonight. Looking into Tuesday's forecast, we're in the upper 90s, so we're going to heat things up. It will be humid for Tuesday, Wednesday. Rain chances go up to 30%, 20% chance on Thursday and Friday. We're running above average. And then as we look ahead to the weekend forecast, so far it looks like we'll have a slight chance for showers. Of course, as we get a little closer to the weekend, our rain chances will go up or down by Sunday, mid-90s, overnight lows in the 70s. JC?
Thank you, Nicole. Let's also give you a look at your commute. Time now is 6:49. Giving you a look here at US 54 in Alameda. You'll see that 54 itself is flowing just fine. Busy morning out there for traffic as we had construction in the area. Happy to say, though, it has since cleared in. As you can see, traffic's flowing just fine. Not seeing any delays whether you're heading north or south here on US 54. Northeast El Paso looking pretty much perfect as well. We do remind you, though, far east El Paso County near Waco Tanks, we're seeing a traffic alert, a crash at Montana and Craig has shut down all the westbound lanes. So if you're heading west, make sure that you're taking Buntline towards Marvin and Las Casitas to avoid that area right there. For today, we do have some road closures. I-10 east and west of the Texas state line will have alternating lane closures from 9 until 4 this afternoon. Also, Loop 375 at Yarborough, anticipate a lane closure there from 9 until 4. And once again here, another lane closure for Gateway West at Paisano. No word if it's a right or left lane, so just keep that in mind from 9 until 4 this afternoon. Mauricio?
Thank you, JC. As Washington debates how to respond to the mass shootings in El Paso and Dayton, the FBI is also asking for the public's help spotting suspicious behavior. ABC's Tom Llamas has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, knowing the warning signs to help prevent future shootings. In 2018, the FBI released this study of active shooters from 2000 to 2013. In it, a common thread, on average, each shooter displayed 4 to 5 concerning behaviors before their deadly act. Questionable activity often recognized by teachers, fellow students, and family members.
It's possible to prevent mass shootings because these events are planned out in advance. And most importantly, those who carry out mass shootings typically tell other people about their violent plans beforehand.
But the study found that even when the people closest to the shooter saw the warning signs, 59% of the time they didn't report the behavior to law enforcement. Coming up on GMA, we'll have full live coverage of the shootings with ABC's David Muir in El Paso and Eva Pilgrim in Dayton. With your GMA First Look, I'm Tom Llamas, ABC News, New York.
Coming up after the break, the headlines in your morning rush.
The scene of the 8th deadliest shooting in U.S. history is right here in El Paso. We'll explain what we've learned about the shooting, the victims, and the suspected shooter. It's 6:52. Welcome back. The time right now is 6:55.
Let's get you ready for the day with the morning rush. A mass shooting at the Walmart in Cielo Vista Mall has claimed the lives of 20 people here in the borderland. 26 others were also injured. The shooting began just after 10:30 on Saturday morning. Families tell ABC7 that it started outside in the parking lot and the shooter made his way inside. Police say the Walmart was near capacity with up to 3,000 customers inside.
And police identified the shooter as 21-year-old Patrick Crucius from Allen, that's in North Texas near Dallas. The shooter was booked into the El Paso County Jail on capital murder charges. And the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Texas says they are also pursuing federal hate crime and firearms charges, which would carry the death penalty. Law enforcement officials also say the shooter is cooperating with authorities. He was arrested without incident.
And their area is still a crime scene as investigators continue to collect evidence. Police sent out this tweet saying the vehicles in the Walmart parking lot will remain there for several days. Residents are being asked to leave their vehicles there and to not go to the scene. Police will send out a notification when the vehicles are available to be picked up.
I'm Good Morning El Paso's Madeline Otterly. Both Clint and Socorro Independent School Districts are preparing to welcome students back for their second week of school today. Both districts have announced increased security measures as well as counseling services for students and staff. Now new this morning, Clint ISD has released a statement acknowledging the death of 15-year-old Javier Rodriguez. He was a sophomore at Clint's Horizon High. We'll have that full statement as well as security changes made by the districts on our website at kvia.com.
Madeline, thank you. A prayer vigil for the victims draws thousands last night as the El Paso community looks to come together in a dark time. While borderline residents came together in prayer, it was a show of solidarity and strength even through tears. It started with a march, which included former El Paso Congressman Beto O'Rourke, while current Congresswoman Veronica Escobar spoke, calling what happened the crime, saying that it was sparked by white nationalism.
Our sister city, Juarez, also held a vigil. Residents came together wearing white in honor of the victims. The Mexican Foreign Secretary confirms that 7 of the 20 people killed were Mexican nationals. Mexico is pursuing legal actions to protect other victims impacted by this shooting. A full list of the victims that ABC7 has identified can be found on our website at kvia.com.
And of course, less than a day after the shooting here in El Paso, just hours after really, Dayton, Ohio was dealing with a mass shooting of its own. This one took place in front of a bar, which has now turned into a memorial site. Authorities identified the shooter as 24-year-old Connor Betts of Bellbrook, Ohio. 9 people were killed, including the alleged gunman's younger sister, and at least 26 others were injured.
6:57 is the time now. Weather and traffic on the 7s. The kiddos that are heading back to school today at 7 o'clock, we're at 82 degrees at the bus stop. We'll have a slight chance for showers. And then by the end of the school day, 20% chance, 97 will be the high. So temperatures running above average. As you can see, for the next 7 days, each afternoon, we will have that chance for showers and thunderstorms. But I do think the best day for us to see more rain will be Wednesday. 30% chance, 97 will be in the 90s through Friday. Tad cooler through the weekend. JC?
Thank you, Nicole. Traffic off to a good start here in El Paso. We just remind you, far east El Paso County, we do have a crash that has shut down Montana. It says you're heading west near Cragg, so keep that in mind. You don't want to get stuck in any of that traffic. 3 cars involved, all westbound lanes closed, so take blunt line, towards Marvin and Las Casitas to avoid this area right here. We remind you, if you happen to get in a crash today, your car still runs, make sure to move your right to the side.
Happening today, President Trump is expected to address both mass shootings. He made a short appearance yesterday with First Lady Melania, extending their condolences to the El Paso and Dayton communities. ABC7 will live stream his announcement on KVIA.com and on our KVIA News app. It is expected to start at 8 a.m. local time. A San Antonio hospital is deploying some of its healthcare providers to help in the aftermath of yesterday's shooting. Methodist Healthcare System is sending 3 service dogs and their handlers to comfort first responders, patients, and their families. Their handlers say the animals are specially trained for people experiencing grief, stress, and trauma.
So obviously looking to make things a little easier on this Monday. It's not a normal Monday for us here in El Paso. This is uncharted territory for our city, but we know that we'll continue to come together and we will move on past this. Good Morning America is next, and of course President Donald Trump will speak at 8 a.m. We'll bring that to you live. Have a great day.